Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Oh well, who would have seen this one coming? We just covered the whole Maxine Waters-Sam Bankman-Fried connection issue, how Maxine Waters was seemingly left in charge with getting Sam Bankman-Fried to show up on the House floor for a hearing where he can be questioned on the whole FTX thing. First of all, how ridiculous it was that Maxine Waters would be anywhere near this, considering her cozy relationship with SBF. Here she is blowing a kiss to the guy. And in that video, we went on a rant of all of these corrupt politicians. Of course, mostly Democrats, but there's some Republicans too. These swamp creatures who pretend to be on your side, on the side of the little guy, fighting for your best interest. But in a situation like this with Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX US, and Alameda Research, where the American citizens, retail investors, were essentially scammed out of billions of dollars, these politicians take the side of the fraudster, or the supposed alleged fraudster, Sam Bankman-Fried, because donor bucks, especially such dirty donor bucks from FTX US, are more important than you are to these slimy politicians. Let me show you guys what I mean. Let's get into this whole Maxine Waters situation as the story develops, and let's just say the development is not surprising whatsoever. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, take a look at this. House Financial Services Chair Maxine Waters doesn't plan to subpoena Sam Bankman-Fried to testify at hearing on FTX collapse. Now, first of all, can somebody please explain to me how Maxine Waters is the House Financial Services Chair? I mean, a quick little Wikipedia search of Maxine Waters shows early life and education. She worked in a garment factory as a telephone operator before being hired as an assistant teacher with the Head Start program in Watts in 1966. Waters later enrolled at Los Angeles State College, now California University, Los Angeles, where she received a bachelor's degree in sociology in 1971. Somehow a sociology degree puts Maxine Waters in the position of House Financial Services Chair. If that wasn't ridiculous enough, now we have this. House Financial Services Committee Chairwoman Maxine Waters told the panel's Democrats that she doesn't plan to subpoena former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried to testify at the December 13th hearing about the crypto exchange's rapid demise, according to the people with direct knowledge of the conversation. These politicians are bought and paid for. They're commodities, sold off to the highest donor and their interest. And I've mentioned it's a both sides thing. I mean, I do notice it more on the Democrat side than the Republican, but honestly, even if it was an equal phenomenon 50-50, it's worse when it comes from Democrats, because they play this role as they're there for the little guy, and then they do something like this. I mean, it wasn't bad enough that Maxine Waters was essentially brown-nosing Sam Bankman-Fried last week ahead of this supposed hearing. Now she's refusing to subpoena him, because apparently she doesn't believe that the American people deserve answers on this massive, wide-scale potential fraud. And you know why she probably doesn't want to get to the bottom of it? Because she's probably in some way, shape, or form connected and implicated. They all are. All of their campaigns, a good chunk of the DNC donations, their campaigns were funded by Sam Bankman's FTX. And just to show you how dishonest Maxine Waters is, on the issue of cryptocurrency, on June 18th, 2019, Maxine Waters asked Facebook to halt its plan for development and launching of Libra, a new cryptocurrency. Citing a list of recent scandals, she said, "The cryptocurrency market currently lacks a clear regulatory framework to provide strong protections for investors, consumers, and the economy. Regulators should see this as a wake-up call to get serious about the privacy and national security concerns, cybersecurity risks, and the trading risks that are posed by cryptocurrencies." So here's Maxine Waters warning everyone about how volatile and dangerous cryptocurrencies are and how investors could get the short end of the stick. Then, of course, Democrat megadonor Sam Bankman-Fried is now under criminal investigation for market manipulation, which may have helped him wipe $1 trillion from the crypto market. The pump and dump scheme, leaving retail investors dry as they use the back door that they built at FTX to funnel the funds out of there and funnel a good chunk of the funds to Democrat causes and Democrat campaigns. Ironically enough, exactly what Maxine Waters back in June of 2019 was warning everyone about. Seemingly, she should care about this issue, but when it comes to it, when push comes to shove, she's unwilling to subpoena the guy, and just the way that she has treated this whole situation from the start has been fundamentally unserious. Let's do a little flashback to this tweet. She @, Sam Bankman-Fried, and says, "We appreciate that you've been so candid in your discussions about what happened at FTX. Your company's willingness to talk to the public will help the company's customers, investors, and others. To that end, we would welcome your participation in our hearing on the 13th. I mean, treating the guy with kid gloves, as if this is just a small thing, a multi-billion-dollar potential fraud. Sam Bankman-Fried should have been subpoenaed from day one. Actually, as I'm going through some of these tweets, I just noticed that Maxine Waters has addressed the whole issue. Lies are circulating at CNBC that I am not willing to subpoena Sam Bankman-Fried. He has been requested to testify at the December 13th hearing. A subpoena is definitely on the table. Stay tuned." Well, if that's the case, Maxine Waters, and Sam Bankman-Fried has already essentially pulled out of the hearing, claiming that he's not going to go, what's taking you so long? Whether she ends up subpoenaing him or not at the last minute doesn't justify Maxine Waters, first of all, having a severe conflict of interest here, considering her very close relationship with this individual. Frankly, all of Washington has a friggin' conflict of interest with SBF at this point, and it wouldn't justify the kid's glove approach that she's taking. If Sam Bankman-Fried is guilty of what people are accusing him of, it's probably one of the biggest frauds ever committed. And we're talking about Americans' livelihoods here. We're talking about treating people's life savings as if it's monopoly money and stealing it from them, stealing investors' cash. And these Washington swamp rats are unwilling to take this issue seriously. The double standard is apparent. When something is involving Donald Trump, Maxine Waters is on the case. "Oh, we're gonna get him. He's a criminal." Of course, the whole Washington machine is working overtime. Biden's corrupt DOJ asks Obama-appointed judge to hold Trump team in contempt for failing to comply with a subpoena related to Mar-a-Lago documents. They're fully willing to subpoena Donald Trump and literally anyone even remotely connected to him. They've probably subpoenaed Donald Trump's golf caddy at this point, for Pete's sakes. It's nothing but endless investigations when it comes to Trump and the Trump team and the Trump family and organization. Millions upon millions of dollars. But Sam Bankman-Fried, woke Democrat megadonor, who allegedly pulled off the scam, the fraud of the century, well, they just don't seem to care. And that's exactly it. They don't care. This is what they do. They're professional, corrupt, useless people. They say the right things when it comes to election time. They present themselves in a certain manner. They're empty suit politicians who serve nobody but themselves. It takes me right back to the whole Trump contrast thing. We're to believe that Donald Trump is this evil, terrible man because he's got a little bit of a potty mouth and he shoots from the hip and sometimes says things that he shouldn't, and that these finely groomed politicians are the good guys because they present themselves in a certain way and talk in a certain way. But when it really comes to it, when it really comes to the sliminess, the dishonesty, the corruption, the fraud, maintaining the status quo and screwing over the American public, it's not Donald Trump who's doing it. It's the well-groomed, electable politician. They're snakes in the grass. They're not to be trusted. And the Democrats are the worst of the worst. Both sides have their snakes in the grass, but these Democrats who run on all of these sensitive societal issues, who constantly try to go after your heartstrings and go after issues, emotional issues that they can target, are the most disingenuous, in the fact that they target those issues and then end up being complete scoundrels and complete liars. It takes the level of unethical to a new height. And this Sam Bankman-Fried situation and how Maxine Waters is treating it is the perfect proof for exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.